NHL News September 28th, 2018. Let's get to it. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Arizona Coyotes 3-2. Oiler backup hopeful Mikko Koiskinen, more on him later, saved 26 of 28 shots. He's a 30-year-old. He's a 30-year-old KHLer for the past number of years. He's 6'5", big boy. On the Arizona Coyotes side, right wing Clayton Keller. Is 20 years old now. He had a goal and an assist that bodes well for Arizona fans as he continues to build off of last year's 23-goal, 42-assist season in 82 games. Next up is Ottawa beat the Chicago Blackhawks 2-1. Ottawa won! Yes! Believe it or not. Dylan Domenko, right defenseman, who came across in the San Jose deal for Erik Karlsson. Last year, in 63 games, he had 23 assists. He's 25 years old. In any case, he had an assist this game. And Chicago's Jonathan Toews had a goal. This is good news for Chicago fans because that's his third of the preseason. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Alex DeBrincat also had an assist. His point total's been a bit slow in this preseason so far. Of course, he had a fantastic season. In 82 games last season, he had 28 goals and 52 points. So hopefully he gets it going once the regular season starts. Next up, New Jersey 5, Winnipeg Jets 3. New Jersey defenseman Sami Vatanen, who came across in the Adam Henrique deal last year, if you remember, from San Jose. He had a goal. And for the Jets, Kyle Connor had a goal. His third point of the preseason so far. And if you remember, he just had a coming out year last year in 57 he had 57 points. 31 of them being goals. It's no wonder Winnipeg is such a deep team. They're just, they're stacked. Now we have Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Florida Panthers 6-2. Spanking. A spanking. Tampa Bay, 21-year-old right wing AHLer Matthew Joseph. Matthew, I think I said that right. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. And this is his 7th point in the preseason so far. Last year in the AHL, he had, in 70 games, he had 15 goals and 38 assists. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to make the team this year, because obviously Tampa Bay is pretty deep, but I don't doubt he'll be called up at least a few times. He's a player for Tampa Bay fans to keep an eye on. For Florida, forward Finnish NHLer, 22-year-old, third-round pick. This first name, how am I going to say this? Juho Leminko. I think I got the last name right anyways. He had his first goal of the preseason in 59. I'm trying to read this, and I can't read my own writing. He had 59 game points in the AHL last season. He had 28 goals. Oopsie. Next game is New York Rangers 4 over the Philadelphia Flyers 2. New York Ranger center right winger rookie Vinny Lettieri. We talked about him again a few days ago. He got his second goal of the preseason, which is great. He had 23 goals in the AHL last season. He did play 19 games in the NHL, and he had last year he had 5 points. So not spectacular, but hopefully this is a harbinger of things to come for Vinny. On the Flyers side, newly signed James Van Riemsdyk had a goal and assist for 4 points so far in the preseason. As you probably or may not know, he played the last 6 years for Toronto, and last season he had 36 goals, a career high, and before that he had started his career with Philly. So good news for Flyer fans. Calgary 4 over the San Jose Sharks 3. Calgary's James Neal had his first goal of the preseason, surprisingly enough. Ditto for Lindholm, who came across in the Carolina deal for Hamilton, but he had 2 points on the night. So that's good news for Calgary fans. The San Jose Sharks, Carlson had his first game, and he had an assist. Unfortunately, it was for a losing cause, but also center 24-year-old center rookie Antti Suomela. He's from the Finnish league where he had 60 points in 59 games. So he had 2 goals in this game. And he's had, and that's 5 points in 4 preseason games. So maybe he'll secure some sort of depth spot with the Sharks. We'll see. In the news, St. Louis's depth D, Robert Bertuzzo, was suspended for the remainder of the preseason and 1 regular season game for his elbow on Tuesday's game on Washington Capital Mike Kemphy. Mike Kemphy was smiling when he came off the ice, so hopefully it wasn't a serious injury. We'll see if he plays the next game. Legendary broadcaster Bob Cole. Everyone's got to know this guy. He's entering his 50th and final season for Hockey Night in Canada. His 50th season. That's and he's going to be doing 10 games this coming season. His first being the Montreal versus Pittsburgh game on October 6th. You should definitely check that one out. I know I'll be watching that. Guy's 85 years old. He's entering his 50th season. That means he started working for Hockey Night in Canada when he was 35. That's just, wow. And he's also a member of the Order of Canada, and he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame back in 1996. 85. Carolina Hurricanes are going to be wearing Hartford Whaler jerseys. Finally! Yes! If you don't know, the Carolina Hurricanes were moved from Hartford and became the Hurricanes. So they'll be wearing the Whaler jerseys in 2 games, the first being on December 23rd. So that's going to be a fun game just to watch. I used to go to a lot of those games when I was a kid, or at least a handful of them. Loved going to those games. That was when Sean Burke was in net, Brendan Shanahan was on the team, Rob Brindamore was there, Chris Pronger was in his rookie season. We used to go to this German restaurant not far away called the Student Prince all the time and have the schnitzel there, which was fantastic. Anyways, that brings back a lot of childhood memories. I'm really excited to see them do this and to see them skating on the ice. Ottawa's Zach Smith skated out in yesterday's game with an A on his jersey. This just adds to the conundrum that is this Pierre Dorion, the GM of the Ottawa Senators. And he did an interview on TSN yesterday. I highly recommend watching that. Doesn't make too much sense. I don't have time to get into it now. That's another video. Let's move on. Columbus Blue Jackets D. Seth Jones is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a knee sprain. That's horrible news for Columbus, especially seeing as how Bobrovsky and Panarin could be playing in their last year, because they said they wouldn't sign during the regular season. I would not want to be the Columbus GM right now. What do you do? I mean, if the Blue Jackets are, playing awful in the first 20, 30 games, do you all of a sudden you move out Panarin and Bobrovsky, because you don't want to lose them for nothing, or if you're still doing well without your number one defenseman, do you take a run at it and kind of use them as own rentals? That's gonna be a tough one in Columbus. Flyers. 30-year-old forward Yuri Lethra, who came across in the Shen deal with St. Louis, is being questioned by Finnish police in a cocaine case, which he vehemently denies being involved in. But some of the suspects, I believe there's 23 of them altogether, were arrested in his summer home. Now, it goes to mention that he wasn't there at the time, but Hextall hasn't said anything so far. We'll see where that goes. This isn't really news, but Austin Matthews in the GQ photo shoot. I ribbed McDavid the other day in his GQ photo shoot, so I'll just say this about Austin. I love him as a player, but what's with the high-end Christmas sweater? And the turtlenecks. Did he get that from Plekanec last season? Anyway, that's my bad attempt at comedy. Montreal David Schlemenko is out for the next 6 weeks with a knee injury suffered in the Toronto game, reported by Claude Julien. In his first season with the Habs last year, in only 37 games, he had 5 points. He had a lot of upper body injuries. That's a depleted blue line for Montreal, but it's also looks good for some AHLers who want to prove their worth. Moving on, the Oilers just placed Al Montoya on waivers. And a little callback to the game up here with backup Mikko Koskinen. He's won the backup role. So I'm really interested to see how he does in that, as I'm sure a lot of Edmonton fans will be. Let's move on to the games that are going to be happening later on today. It's going to be Pittsburgh versus Columbus, Buffalo versus the New York of Islanders. See what I did there? The Carolina Hurricanes versus the Washington Capitals, Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Dallas Stars versus the St. Louis Blues, and the Minnesota Wild versus the Avalanche of Colorado, and the Los Angeles Kings versus the Knights of Columbus. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing that if you haven't already. And if you know any hockey geeks, please don't be shy about sharing. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.